Today is Sunday, February the 16th. It is 10:01 a.m. and I am continuing with my reading of Business Secrets of the Bible by Rabbi, I think it's Daniel Lapin. Yes, right there on the front. So anyway, today I read secret number 7, and the title of this chapter is called Focus on Other People's Needs and Desires, and you will never ever be short of what you need, of what you desire and need. And he's continuing to talk about how important it is that you connect with other people in order to do this. And the first question that he starts the chapter off with says, he asks, does God want you to be rich? And I need to continue to get texts and stuff like that. I need to continue to see this and ask myself this question and read chapters like this, because I am still struggling. Even though I want to, just like most people, I want to be financially fit. I would like to be financially independent. And finances is my niche. That's my thing. I like budgeting. I like planning. I like thinking about investing and all the different options you can do with that. And so that's my niche. That's what I talk about on my YouTube channel, and one of the services that I provide as part of my business. But I'm like, I still struggle with this. And so it's not that I struggle with earning money, but I struggle with the whole thing of, is it okay to want to be wealthy? And I think that we've been conditioned a couple of different ways. Subconsciously, we've been conditioned that people that have money and that do very well are not good people, and that type of thing. And so I'm still struggling with this. So I'm like, I've read so many books about this that it's not. And I'm like, okay, it's what it is that I have to reprogram myself. And so I want to know what your thoughts are about this also. But anyway, he says that God does not want us to be obsessively preoccupied. He says God does want us to be obsessively preoccupied with one another's needs and wants. And if a good and loving God should reward those who follow his wishes with the incredible blessing of wealth, should that surprise us? And no, it shouldn't. And then, you think about, as a Christian, I know that we have different denominations in our faith. And, some people think that, if you want to be closer to God and if you want to be more spiritual, then, you should go without. And then, of course, we have the ultimate Mother Teresa. I think she only slept on a mat or something like that. And she didn't have any personal belongings around her. And I think it boils down to, what is your gift? What gift has God given you? And if that is in your gift, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you're operating in your gift and it causes you to be compensated well for that, there's nothing wrong with that either. And so that was one of the things and I was just writing down some notes, while I was thinking. And I thought about, when I was reading this chapter, hey, Marlena, how are you? I thought about the fact that money itself is just a tool. And what we have to make sure that we're cognizant of is the focus. What is the focus? Is the focus on me providing goods and services that are going to help other people? Or is the focus on just getting the money, getting the tools so that I can please and serve myself? And so he continues to talk about the fact that we need to be around other people to provide those services. But one of the things that he didn't talk about, which I think still is consistent with this, because I was talking last week, and I've talked in a couple videos about how I'm an introvert and how I feel more comfortable, just kind of being alone, doing my own thing. But that does not apply when it comes to my gift. When it comes to budgeting and finance and investing, I'm just a chatterbox. I love talking about that. I love, thinking about different strategies. And if I'm talking to somebody and they're they're struggling with their finances, and I have to hold myself back from saying anything because that's my gift. That's something that I enjoy talking about and thinking about. And so it just resonated with me. I'm like, that may be the reason why God gave us all a special gift, because no matter who you are, if you're operating in your gift, you can't help but, you know, do and perform and share with other people something that you're confident and you feel good about. And so that just, to me, that just totally flips the script for me, because when he talks about the fact that you need to focus on helping and serving other people and the money will flow in, if I'm doing something I don't really like to do, it's, my job, I'm grateful for my job, and I praise God for it all the time, because it's enabled me to be able to do a lot of the things that I want to do. It enables me to take care of me and my children. But at the end of the day, I can't honestly say that I look forward to going to my job every day to do what I need to do. I don't look forward to just all of the logistics and the tasks that are involved with my job. Is something that I've disciplined myself to do. It's something that I know that I need to do if I want to make an income, but I can't say that I enjoy it. But I know that if I didn't have to work, then I could do the finance thing all day long and I wouldn't feel like I'm working, because it's something that I love, and I would help other people with it, and I would enjoy doing that. And if I charged a fee for that, that would just be, a normal outpouring of what they my mentor calls them appreciation certificates. He says the better you serve people and you fulfill a need, then you get appreciation certificates in the form of money. But back in the day, years ago, appreciation certificates wasn't paper. It was silver, gold. It could have been shells. It could have, people bartered. There were a lot of different ways of exchange of goods and services. It wasn't just paper money. And so when I think about it that way, then I don't have a problem with constantly serving and giving and fulfilling other people's needs when it comes to that area, because that's something that's in my gift. I don't mind being around other people. I don't mind talking about it. My whole introvert thing just goes out the window when it comes to that. Well, that's because I'm operating in my gift. And so I think that this chapter continues to, with the theme of what he's talking about, serving other people and in different ways we can do that. And then let me see, so then the other thing, and this goes along with business, is that operating in your niche. And I know that, especially with online marketing, there are a lot of different niches that are more profitable than others, and people flock to those. But I personally feel that when you operate in your gift and you make that your niche, and you find a way to help other people with your gift, then that will be a natural way of pursuing a career, pursuing your business, than trying to just jump into a niche that you think you can make a lot of money out of. So that's what I got. Mostly what I got out of this chapter is that we need to continue to focus on how we can meet the needs of other people. And one of the things that one of my mentors also mentioned, he said that the bigger the need that you fulfill, obviously the more money you're going to make. And so when you just focus on that, when you focus on what you can do for someone else and what needs are in the market and how you can help somebody else, it makes you feel good. And then you can, create an income off of it. And I thought about this today. I was just thinking about the fact that one of the things this is a personal thing, one of the things I've really been struggling with, my son has special needs. And so he, has incontinence. And so he still wears diapers. And I've been so frustrated. I've been so frustrated because as he's getting bigger for adult diapers, but he's still, as a child, he's still too small for them. So he's like in the middle. He's really kind of a little too big for the kid diapers, but then the adult diapers, he's not quite big enough for those, and so it causes leakages all the time. And it's really frustrating for me because I'm constantly washing sheets. I'm constantly um, changing his clothes and having to wash out his clothes. So I called the company and I was like, is there anything else that you all have that can help me with this? I said, because I'm constantly, washing and cleaning. And I mean, I just can't stand that smell. I even have sprays and stuff like that. And she shared with me that they had these diaper, what they call boosters, which are they're basically like sanitary like napkins. That's what they look like. And you put them in the diaper. And I had used those before, but I had never used two of them. And she said, well, you can use more than one and try that. So I did that yesterday, and it seems like it worked. And because before that, I just started putting until I, got what I needed from the company. I just used my own, and I figured out, okay, if I position them, two together, and right in the front with him being a boy, that's where he needs the most absorption at. And I put those two together. Then I worked, and I got to thinking, I'm like, well, how come nobody else has thought of this? I know I can't be the only one that's dealing with this, the only one that's frustrated with this. I'm like, why aren't there other diapers that provide just that extra thicker layer right in the front for boys, and then that way, and smaller boys, and then that way, you can just solve that problem. Well, if I had the time, if I had the time and the ingenuity, that's something that I could pursue. And I mean, I feel so excited about that. I want to go on, the message board, and I want to tell the other special needs moms of groups that I'm a part of. I'm not thinking about money, but I know that if I was, an industrious person, and I wanted to pursue that idea to put something like that on the market to help other special needs moms that are having the same struggle that I am, I could probably make a significant income from that. And then out of that, and so that's fulfilling a need that I have, fulfilling a need someone else has. So then out of that, then I can also be obedient to God's word when he talks about giving to the poor. Because when he was talking about um, always being focusing on taking care of God's children, I thought about this proverb, and I found it, and it's Proverbs 19:17, and it says, whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done. And so I thought about that. Okay, so if I'm constantly operating out of my gift, if I find different ways to help other people, then I can make an income. Well, then if I'm making a higher income, then I can tithe more. I can give more in offerings. I can give more to the guy that's holding the sign on the street, when I stop at the light. And it's all inconsistent. It's all consistent with this particular proverb. So, I mean, I just love how God ties things together that makes total sense. And I think we have to constantly be on guard of not being confused by what the world and even the enemy tells us about the things that God has created, because then we get things all twisted, and in other areas it can even be perverted when God designed certain things for certain purposes. And so that is what I got out of secret number 7. And I had highlighted some areas that I thought was really good. Well, he says there's nobody who can do everything for everybody, but we all have our niche, which is our gift, and our role to play. You may as well let others know how you can serve them. Notice that the focus here is not on how to make more money, but how to better and more frequently serve more human beings. So that's pretty much what I got out of this chapter. Oh, the other thing that he talked about being more assertive and knowing other people and networking. He says one of the best-selling books of the past few years is Malcolm Gladwell's The Tipping Point, in which Gladwell writes that a person's financial success is directly correlated to the number of people they know. And that's definitely something I have to work on. So as an introvert, I know a lot of people, but I don't engage with a lot of people a lot. And I know that I can work on that, but I am still a little bit limited, because as a single mom now, and one of my youngest child is special needs, it's kind of difficult for me to get outside of my routine of working and taking care of them, which is why I leverage a lot on the internet. I can reach a lot more people by doing these Facebook lives and videos and being on my blog. And so that's how I reach out more than actually physically getting out and talking to people. That's how I'm trying to do better about networking with people that way. So let me see what else he said. Oh, another good thing I thought he put in here. He said, I'm going to just read all this. He said, I highlighted, I'm not going to read the whole page, but he said, I ask people, how do you serve humanity? They tell me about how they do work in the soup kitchen, their pro bono clients, or the time they spend at the animal shelter. He said, I explained to them that supplying other people with goods and services for pay and profit is no less an act of serving humanity than their volunteerism. To think of your occupation and work as only making a living suggests that you are only interested in what you get out of work, which is probably me. I'm guilty of that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to make money, but make serving the process of making money your goal. Align your work with your values, align your values with your work, and you will see the innate purpose and work of all compensated work. The money is what happens as a result, and it is your reward. And I thought about this, and I went back to the fact, I'm like, well, truly the only way you can accomplish what he just said is to be an entrepreneur, because and be your own boss, because there are very few people, I think there are very few people that are in a job that they absolutely love, that's within their gift. I mean, we just have the practical reality that we have to earn money so that we can provide for our needs. And so really the only way that you can do this is to become an entrepreneur if you're going to make a living that aligns with your, well, I won't say that's the only way. I mean, you can try to find jobs that align with your values, but sometimes you might be limited in the income potential that, well, you are limited in the income potential that you can make. If you work for someone else, you're only going to make how much they're willing to pay you, versus if you're an entrepreneur, then there is no limit. And so I think that's another reason why everybody should have a side hustle or something that they're doing, that they're operating out of their gift. Because if it's something that grows and you do very well at it and you make a high income, then those are funds that can be recycled back into serving other people. The more you have, I heard, I don't know who said this, but it sounds a little direct, but it's true. I've heard some people say that the best way to help poor people is to not be one of them, because how can you give what you don't have? And so I think that in order for us to optimize working and developing our gifts, or making an income from our gifts, we really need to. Hey Jeff, how are you? Thank you for the heart. I really appreciate that. We really need to just do our own thing, and at least have a side hustle doing something that you love, because you never know how it's going to grow. But at the very least, it's definitely going to increase your income so that you can be more proactive in giving, not only out of your gift, but being able to give financially because of what you've earned from your gift. So it's almost like a symbiotic situation from what I can tell. So anyway, I really appreciate you guys visiting me today. I'm gonna put this on this will be on a replay if anybody else wants to take a look at it. Hey, how are you? Oh, hey, I had to think about who that is. Oh, hey, Jeff. I saw Jeff, but I didn't see the rest. So, yeah, thank you for visiting my Facebook Live. I'm still trying to get used to doing these. I think I did a little bit better today. What do you think, Marlena? I think I did a little bit better today with this. So, hopefully I'll get some more views and some more likes and hearts and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and I've been trying to do these every week. Um, Trying to be consistent with doing them every week. In addition to, I do YouTube videos, but those are about the business and stuff like that. But I think that it's good to, this is how I start off my week, and just being honest and transparent with everybody. I was like, I think I'm gonna, if I'm doing this, if I'm learning things, I think I'm gonna start sharing what I'm learning every week this way. Yeah, I know. So that's why I'm trying to continue to do more of them. Um, and Marlene has heard me hear this lots of times. I'm an introvert, so this is definitely a challenge for me, but I make myself do it. I get ready. I do this before I go to church, and in that way, I know that it's done, and I can move on with my day, not feeling like, oh, I didn't do it, and dreading it. I just go ahead and get it done first thing in the morning. So, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign off so I can go ahead and get ready for church. And if you guys would share it, if you think it's beneficial, if you guys could like it and share it, I'd really appreciate it. Really help me out with getting more exposure. And then I will go from there. So I'll see you guys next week. Hopefully you'll make it back next week, and I'll see you then. Take care. Bye bye.